Hey, you guys, happy day to you. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the worry or the potential worry of feeling like a permissive parent when you utilize or acknowledge your child's feelings and utilize positive parenting techniques. I know that can be a big thing that when we are utilizing, positive ways to speak with our children or redirect our children, that we may feel like the child is walking all over us, or that our parenting lacks discipline or what have you. But really, you guys, that's not the truth, because we can very easily acknowledge and accept our child's feelings and redirect them to know that what they're doing is unacceptable, and the behavior is not acceptable. And I'm going to give you an example here in a minute. But yeah, so I feel like parents may worry about that a little bit when exploring different parenting techniques. So I want you guys not to really worry about that. I want you to kind of keep an open mind with that. And remember, that's what this is all about, is exploring different techniques. Not every technique that we discuss in here is going to be something that's going to work for you potentially. But keep an open mind to at least try it, right? Give it a try. See if it's something that works for your family. And if it doesn't, it doesn't, right? No hard feelings, but at least open your mind about it and give it a go. And so I want to give you kind of an example here. So for myself, and I have been a yeller for sure. Mom rage has come out 100% in the past. And that's actually where this whole thing has spiraled into this, because there had been a lot of times where yelling was happening a lot. And anytime that I would yell, my daughter would take her hands and cover them over her ears, because she honestly dislikes the yelling, right? It's loud, it's obnoxious, it's annoying, it's hurtful, right? It's irritating. If you think about you as an adult, if you're being yelled at and screamed at, how is that going to make you feel? For me personally, if somebody's yelling at me, I feel closed off. I just want to completely shut them out. I feel really upset and overwhelmed, and I cry. If I'm being yelled at, I cry, because those are the emotions that flood through my body, and those are legit. They're my emotions. They're my feelings. So kind of think about how you would feel being yelled at, and then just put your kids in those shoes, right? How do you think they're feeling at that moment? So one night I had been putting my daughter to bed, and she had said to me, "Mom, I hate you when you yell. I hate it when you yell, and I hate you when you yell." And that was my eye-opening moment of, holy crap, I need to make some shifts here, right? I need to work on me as a person to be a better parent and just to support our family better, right? So that was kind of the eye-opening moment when she had said that to me, because it really hurt. More often than not, it was yelling match after yelling match, and you really don't get through to the kid, especially my daughter. You don't get through to her when you're yelling at her or talking down to her. And so that's where I started to kind of do my research to find different parenting techniques that would be useful and helpful for my family. So I'm going to give you a little example, and you can take this as you will. So drawing on the walls, and this is something that's happened in our home so often. They've drawn on the walls, they've painted on the walls, and in the past it's like, what are you doing? Like, you can't be doing that. That's not okay. And just absolute yelling match over them drawing on the walls. Well, the drawing's already been done, right? So what comes next is how you're going to react, the reaction that comes out of it. Okay. And so in the past, you start yelling. For me, I've started to yell because of the drawing on the walls. And what happens? The hands come up to the ears, right? they're not hearing anything that you're saying. So then you get more pissed off and frustrated because the hands are to the ears. You feel and you think that they're being rude and disrespectful, when really they're just feeling overwhelmed and it's so loud and they just need to shut it down, right? And so then it just spirals out of control, and you may have been there, or you may be there at some point in your life, right? And so the yelling becomes more yelling with "you're so disrespectful," and then the name calling of you're such a disrespectful child, go to your room, and there's no support and there's no bonding and no anything there, right? So now how can we, in a positive parenting way, change that scenario, right? And so if you, or when you see your child drawing on the wall, and this could be anything, in the book that I had read that this was in, it was the child was taking a fork and playing with the butter, okay? So I'm going to use drawing on the wall as an example because this has actually happened in our home. So what you could do in this scenario is you could say something like, accepting it or acknowledging their feelings of what they're doing. Hey, I see that you're really excited to be drawing on those walls, or I see that you're having a lot of fun drawing on those walls. Unfortunately, it's not acceptable behavior to do that, right? Mommy feels really frustrated when you draw on my walls. Why don't we go ahead and clean that up and we can draw at the table together, right? So you're understanding and accepting what they're doing, right? You're understanding that they're having a lot of fun, but you're redirecting and you're letting them know that it's not acceptable to do that. And hey, let's clean this up and we'll go draw at the table afterwards, right? Where they are able to. The butter scenario that was in the book was, hey, I see you're having a lot of fun playing or creating in that butter. That's really not acceptable to play with the food. So why don't we get your Play-Doh out and you can create in that, right? So just utilizing techniques like that. And that could be used with a lot of different scenarios, you guys. But I just want to allow you to understand that just by utilizing and acknowledging and accepting your children's behavior in a positive way does not make you a permissive parent, does not make you a weak parent who's, who's walked over and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't make you that kind of parent, right? You're a great parent for acknowledging and accepting your child's behavior, and you're going to create a stronger bond with that child, which in turn will just create a really great person with potentially not having traumas and things like that in their life when they're grown up. So let's break that cycle, you guys. It's okay to break that cycle and not worry about what other people may think by being a positive parent or utilizing positive techniques and tools in your everyday life. Anyways, you guys, that's what I have for you today. This Thursday, we are meeting for Chapter 2 in our virtual book club right here in this group. So be sure to come on by. And if you haven't grabbed the book yet, I highly recommend you grab that book. If you need the link for that, I can definitely shoot it your way. You don't need the book, but like I said, it has so many different tidbits and tips and things in it, more than what I'll be actually going over in detail. So have the best day, you guys. See ya.